Good afternoon, everybody's. Ooh, my mic is hot. Hold on. What is up with that? Boy, my mic was, in the red zone. All right, welcome to another Logos training. I don't know what you call it, not a webinar, just live stream demo of Logos Bible software. So if you don't have the software, and hopefully if you found us, you're here because you're interested in this software. So I've got a link in the comments on how you can download it for free. Yes. Okay, so just check out that link. Looks like I've got no space between free and the link. So let me see if I can fix that. Put it in here again. There we go. That's better. I don't want you to have trouble trying to copy that link, and I got a word mixed up in there. All right, and there is more training available. Trying to get my ears together here. There's more training available on my free training. It's a course that I have that's got all sorts of videos, and you can go back to them time and time again and review. And so there's a lot of material there that I recorded. You can look over my shoulder while I do stuff, okay? And so, hey, let's get busy. Just a couple of things. And I was, sometimes I say this is going to be a short one today, and then it end up being long. So if you're watching, let me know in the comment section. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to be going into some training today, and we'll give you an appetizer, no salad, just appetizer and the main meal. How about that? All right, forget trying to fool with this. Okay. Now, I want to show you something. If you're familiar with Parallel Bibles, it's a really good tool. And I got two of them with me that I went around the house, went on a scavenger hunt to try to find where they were. This big, thick one right here is the a Parallel Bible, which it just compares different translations, okay? And so this one compares the NIV, the NASB, which sometimes is called, some people call NASB, King James New Living Translation, okay? And it says 4 popular translations in one convenient volume. All right, and when you open it up, the print can only be so big, right? See how small it is. I'm not trying to get you to read it. I just want you to see that it's how it's laid out. You got columns, King James, New International, New Living, New American Standard, okay? And you can compare them, all right? And so there's different ones you can get. Maybe you want another translation. Maybe you want the Amplified. Well, I got one here. Just so happened that I have this one's only 2. It's not as thick. and it compares the King James original 1900 King James to the Amplified. Open it up. Same a thing. It's good, right? And if this doesn't have the combination of translations you want, you have to keep buying different ones, and you may not find the one that is exactly what you want. Let's say you want the ESV and New Living Translation and the Passion, New Century. All right? Well, what do you do if that's not available? That's where Logos comes in, y'all. And so I'm going to show you how to put together your own parallel Bible on Logos. Is that cool or what? All right. How you like that? We're going to create our own parallel Bible and include whatever translations that we want. So that's what we're going to do today. Yep, that's right. You heard it right. You're going to be able to put whatever combination of Bibles you want in a parallel Bible. Yep. So before we do that, that's the main meal, but we're going to go to an appetizer first. And let me share my screen with you. Okay, here we go. My apologies for everything being small here. I realize it's small. I've got these columns on the left side collapsed. I wish there was a tool that I could use while I'm live that will make my mouse bigger so you can see it. So I'll just have to kind of tell you where I'm going. I'm going down to the bottom, and right next to these three dots, we'll call it the kebab. Looks like a kebab. Right next to it, I know it's small, but take my word for it, there's a little arrow, and if I click that, all right, it expands the left column, all right? So if you know where things are, you may want to collapse it, but the arrow here, collapse or expands. So for your appetizer today, I want to show you how you can create folders like I did here. I've got a quick folder over here that can quickly take me to some of my favorites, my go-to applications, not really applications, but like Bibles, etc., commentaries, the things within Logos that I use the most. You can create a folder over here like I did. These are things that are my favorite tools, we'll call them, within Logos. I can put them in a folder that I can create. I call it Quick, all right? So you can do the same thing, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so, oh my goodness. It just went crazy on me. All right, screen, stay put. And what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to just tell you up front that you may wonder or ask, well, why doesn't Logos make it easier to create folders and put things in them? Because it appears a little wonky. I agree, it's wonky, all right? But hey, I'm just a messenger, okay? I'm showing you how to use it, and they may make this better in the future. And it looks like I'm looking the wrong way when I'm looking over here, so let me fix that. All right. Everybody, excuse the man behind the curtain here. Going to change my view here. This will only take me a few seconds, I promise. Okay. There we go. Now, so what we need to do is, let's say you want to create a folder with your favorite Bibles. Before we get into, this is really a good time to drop this in. Before I talk about this, putting Bibles into a folder and even the parallel Bibles, you have to have the Bibles first in order to, obviously, to put them in a parallel Bible. And so you may not have as many Bibles, but you can go to Logos, the store, and purchase, I believe the Bibles are, don't quote me on this, but they may be $15 a piece, but it's worth it to get your favorite Bibles, right? And you may say, well, I can get them for free with the Bible app. I love the Bible app. Shout out to all the beautiful people at Life Church in Oklahoma. I salute you for creating and making Bible apps, all sorts of translations free. I salute Bible Gateway for these great online tools where you can go and get various translations. But having said that, all right, you won't be able to do what I'm about to show you with those applications, with Bible Gateway or Faith Life. All right, so that's the beauty of Logos and having your favorite Bibles within Logos. All right, cool stuff. I'm excited. I'm gonna take a drink of water here, and so don't panic if you don't have Bibles. Well, I'm trying to put together a parallel Bible like you, but I don't see these Bibles. Well, you have to purchase them. Some of them, I think you may get 2 Bibles, maybe 3 that come with the free version. There's a link to it if you're just coming on to the stream or watching the replay. There's a link to download Logos for free. And it gives you the Lexham Bible. You may not have heard of the Lexham Bible. It is created by the makers of Faith Life. They have resident scholars, and they have created their own Bible. And I believe the King James, 1900 King James, I'm not quite sure on that one, is available. And so I think you have 2, maybe 3. But anyway, you can purchase more. That's the point. And once I show you this feature, if you like parallel Bible, now they call it something else. They call it text comparison. All right. And in my folder, let me show you this. In my quick folder, I just changed the name. The default name is text comparison. So if you go to the tools, this icon right over here, there is where you can find text comparison, which I'll show you in a minute. I don't know why this window keeps popping up on my screen. But anyway, so quick folder and parallel Bible. notice it's the same symbol as text comparison that I just showed you, but you can always change the name. All right. It said originally text comparison, but you can change it to whatever you want. Parallel Bible makes more sense to me, so that's what I changed it to. Oops. I didn't mean to show you that yet. We're not ready for that. We're still in the appetizer. Okay. All right. I digress. So we'll go back to our window. And if you got stuff open here, and in the new version, in Logos 10, if you click Bible over here, that brings up your favorite Bible. All right? Brings up your favorite Bible. Oh, I know what's happening if I go up here. All right. All right. Never mind. Okay. Just some stuff I'm noticing about my presentation here. Now it defaults to bring it over to the right side of the screen for some reason, but I like to bring it over to the left. And you can just drag it where you want. And you can drag it, make it full screen if you want. You see how everything is gray in the whole screen? Just drop it like that. Drop it like it's hot. All right. Okay. Or you can grab it again. See how the left side to the left, to the right. Bring it over further to the right. Oh, here we go. Right, left, full screen. Just drop it wherever you want it. Okay. All right. Now, let me close that. Now, if you've got different windows up, let's see, we'll bring the fact book up here. At some point in time, I'll tell you about the fact book. The fact book is a place that you can go where you've got a topic that you want to study and you don't know where to start. Start with the fact book. But that's another story for another day. If I'm not careful, we'll get into the weeds. So I just brought up a couple of windows so I can show you how to close everything. There is a close all icon down here in the bottom left. Okay, in this left column, just close all. And that closes everything at once. If you want to close one window at a time, just click the X, right, in each window. Now, to the appetizer. Let's get right to it. We'll go in this main search window, upper left. Click inside of it. Here's another way to get to any Bible. I'll just bring up the Passion Translation. I'll put TPT, and you can click enter because open is selected, or you can just click on it. Let's bring up another Bible, ESV, and we'll bring up the New Living. Not talking about parallel Bibles yet, but hang on. All right, NIV, ESV, Passion, New Living. Now, let's say these are your favorites, and you would like to bring them into a folder. The first thing you have to do is drag it, just any one of them. Let's start with the ESV. Just click and drag it over here into this left column. You see there's a little line where you can drop it where you want. Wherever there's a line, little plus button shows up for me, and then I drop it, and there is the ESV. Now, what makes sense to me, like the way that I operate on my Mac, is you can create a folder, like go to the menu bar and create new folder, and just create a folder, and then just take these and just drag them on top. But hopefully Logos will do something like that in the future, but right now it doesn't work like that. So like I said before, it's a little wonky, and what you have to do is once you drag your first Bible over there, or any resource, but we'll just say you want to make a folder with your favorite Bibles. And I'm getting all these notifications popping up, and I should have turned my notifications off on my phone, excuse me, so folks won't mess with me. Alrighty. And I've got to figure out why do my windows keep messing up. Okay. Now we've got the ESV over here. So you right click on it, and then we're going to give this folder a name. In the pop-up window, it gives you an opportunity to create a folder name, and we'll just call it Bibles. Okay? And if you want, you can create one of these icons. Let's make a red one so it stands out. So you notice it changes from it had a USV icon, this little orange icon, but we changed the folder icon to a red, all right? And now just click outside of it. We called it Bibles, and pay attention to what you called it, because it's case sensitive. Click outside of it somewhere. And now you see it actually moved the folder. It's called Bibles, and if we click on it, you can see there's one resource inside, ESV. Now what you do to these others is we can close the ESV, and you can take the New International and drag it over here. Right click on it, and where it says folder, you're going to give it the exact same name. Now watch what happens if I call it Bible. Well, let's just say give it the exact same name, but I don't capitalize the B. Click outside of it. It creates another folder because it's got to be the exact same name. So what we'll do is we'll right click on that, or click on it, excuse me. Select ESV. Oops. Click on it, right click on NIV, and we'll just change it to capital B, Bibles. Click outside. Watch what happens. It's going to get rid of that folder. I know it seems like you should be able to just right click on a folder and there'll be a window where you can delete it, but it doesn't work that way in the Logos world, okay? But when you take it to another folder, it goes away. So now if I click on it, I've got two resources here. So with these other resources, very quickly, we'll do the same thing. Bring this over here. Drop it like it's hot. Right click on it. I'll just select it and copy it. Make it easy for me for the next time. Click outside and watch it. It goes away from here and it drops it in the folder. It's gone from our sidebar and here it is. So this is how you can put your favorite resources in a folder, name it whatever you want. One more we have, and then we'll be done with this. In LT, right click, folder, boom, boom, boom. All 4 of our Bibles are there. What does that do for us? That gives us quick access to our favorite resources, in this case our favorite Bible, so we don't have to go up here, type in ESV and type them in one at a time, right? So you can go there and then you can click these 2 little lines up here at the top in this window, and that brings up these other Bibles, and you can take them. Let me see if I can drag it up. No, can't drag it. But I can click the plus button and get to them this way. Or I can click this little 2 slashes, amplified, and that just changes it from one to the other. Okay, and I can, if I want to look at them side by side, I can just bring them over here like this, okay, and compare them. But that's a good segue into the main course for today. I'm going to close all and take a drink. There's an easy way to compare your Bibles. So we're going to do the parallel Bible thing. And so what we're going to do is go to our tools. Now, as I showed you before, inside of the quick folder, I've got Parallel Bible in here. Its original name, well, it's a permanent name. I just renamed it for my purposes, but it doesn't change it in the tools menu. It doesn't change the definition within Logos. It's called text comparison. But in my folder, in my world, Parallel Bibles is what makes sense to me, as I said before. So I'm going to click Tools, and when you click Tools, you should see in the window text comparison. If you don't, just type inside of this box, start typing in TX, TEX, until you see it, and then select it. Okay, now what I like to do is make it full screen and just drag it over here. Now, what does all this mean? You see some black text, gray text, blue text. If you don't see this and you see something like this, instead of having words crossed out or strike through across words, if you don't see this view and you see these little red circles, I don't like this view, so I'm not even going to talk about that. I want to see the cross through, or the strike through, and that's what this A button with the strike through is. So make sure that is selected up at the top. Make sure that both of these A's, the one with and without the strike through, are selected. Okay? All right. Now, what does all this mean? This is a parallel Bible. And so it's comparing everything to whatever Bible you have in the far left. So let's just start all over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in this window here right next to the reference. Right now I have Romans 5:17. In the ESV it says New King James, New Living, the Passion, Amplify, and New Century, because those are my favorites. And you can save them. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So just click inside of this right next to the text box. Click inside of that. And I'm going to deselect everything that I have here. I'm deselecting at the top. It says books. I'm just deselecting everything. And let's click outside. And it's still there. Okay, so, all right. Try this again. See if I select save, cancel. Okay. Top Bibles, if I click that, I've got certain Bibles that are my top Bibles that are there. So I guess what you have to do is just put in what you want, and then you don't have to, it doesn't look like it allows you to have a clear screen. So, or it doesn't allow you to clear your screen. So I'm going to click inside of here, deselect these books, and now just type in the books that you want. All right. So now again, it's going to be limited to the books that you have in your library. Okay. So I've got several books. So I'm going to type in, let's do the NASB, NAS, and you can just type, abbreviate until you see the Bible that you want under books, and you could just select NASB 95 and click inside of that box. All right, then you can go up here and then start typing ESV. And you see down here at the bottom, it's got books, ESV. Select that. So we've got two Bibles selected. Now we can save it, but we don't have to. If I click outside the window, boom, there we go. We've got two Bibles that we're comparing. So you see how powerful this is? Because you actually can create any parallel Bible that you want. Man, give some love to the Logos people, right, for creating this. So this is I think, sort of a little known feature in Logos. And so let's play around and do a few more, and then I'm going to let you go. It's really very simple. So I'm going to click inside of here again. Oh, wait a minute. Goodness. I didn't even tell you what these strike through lines and things mean. Okay, here we go. So it's comparing everything on the right to the first Bible that you chose. So the Bible that you choose first isn't going to have any strike through. So how do you make sense of this? How do you read it? All right, so it's comparing the ESV with, we'll call this the base version. your base version is the NASB. And you can change your base version anytime you want. Just create another parallel Bible and put whatever you want over there to the left as your base Bible, and then it will compare every other Bible to that, right? Okay, so we'll go to the ESV. Now, if you want to read NASB, now follow me close. If you want to read NASB from the ESV, just read the black and the gray text. I'll do that. For if by the transgression of the one death reigned, and if as I'm reading, if you look over to the NASB, I'm actually reading the NASB, okay? Through, death reigned through the one, much more those who receive the abundance of grace and of the gift of righteousness reign in life through the one, Jesus Christ. And it gives a 23% difference. It gives you the percentage of difference between the two translations, or the difference between ESV and the ESV. And we'll bring up a third. We'll bring up 3 Bibles, so you'll see it. It will show you the difference in each Bible. And in your base Bible, it will always show 0% difference, because this is the one that you're comparing it to. I hope everybody's still with me. Now, what it crosses out is what does not appear in the ESV text. And it replaces it with the blue text. Or, let me say that better. It takes out, it crosses out in the gray what is in the NASB, but not in the ESV. And so if you want, and it puts in blue what's in the, like the difference, what the ESV replaces it with, okay? So here's how you read the ESV. You read the black and the blue, not the gray. Let me do that. For if because of one man's trespass, death reigned. Now let me just stop here. What's in black is what's the same between the two. What the black is telling you is it's in both. What the gray is telling you is text that is not in the ESV, but is in the NASB. The blue is telling you what's in the ESV, but not in NASB. So to read the ESV, we read the black plus the blue. I hope this is making sense, okay? And I'll do that, as I started to earlier. For if, because of one man's trespass, I'm reading the black and the blue, death reigned through that one man, much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and the free gift of righteousness reign in life through the one man, Jesus Christ. So you can begin to compare, and you can see here that, for example, something that stands out ESV says concerning righteousness, the free gift of righteousness. NASB chooses to leave that out. After all, a gift. I don't have a problem with either one of them. I'm just here to show you the difference. When you look at a gift, the gift is free. That's the nature of a gift. You don't work for it. So I suppose NASB decides we don't need that word in there. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know what they were thinking, the translators. Thinking out loud again, the ESV might say, their translators might say, yeah, we know a gift is free. We're smart people. But we want to put emphasis on it. We want that to jump out at you. And I get it. I actually like that. I'm not here to debate, just here to show you I'm not trying to debate which is right or wrong. Just here to show you the difference here. So this is how you read parallel Bibles, whatever parallel Bible you put together in Logos. So let's do some more. Let's just start all over. Let's say the ESV first, and then we'll put in the New King James. Then go back here, type in New Living. And let's put a bunch in here. The Passion Translation. Now you can go to recent if you want to go back and revisit something you did before. There's a recent section, and you can click any one of those and quickly go back to something that or revisit somewhere you've been recently. So I'm going to select the Passion. Now we have 4 selected. How about one more? Let's do the Amplified. Okay. Now we can save this if we want, or click outside of it like we did before, but let's save it this time. Book list name, and let's name it Favorite. Save. Click outside of it. Let's go inside here again, and I'm curious to, it doesn't seem like it saved that name Favorite, so interesting. Unless, oh, yes it did. Yes it did. Here it is. Got lost there for a second. Okay, there it is. I can come back to it if I want. Now, same thing, just more translations, right? We see it's comparing everything else to the first Bible that we chose, which is ESV. and New King James, there's a 28% difference between the two. Between the New King James and the ESV. The New Living, there's a 63% difference between the New Living and the ESV. Passion, 61% between the Passion and ESV. Amplified, 36% difference. So what does this tell us? This tells us that tells us what the difference is, yeah, but it can tell you that it tells you that New King James is actually the closest to the ESV. It's closer than any of the others. And just one more time for the sake of repetition, if I read in the New King James column the black and the gray, I will have the ESV translation. For if, because of one man's trespass, death reigned through that one man, much more will those who receive the abundance of grace and the free gift of righteousness reign in life through the one man, Jesus Christ. So, similar to what we saw in the NASB, New King James leaves out free. But notice something else. Whereas the ESV says, reign in life, the New King James adds a word, will reign. And that puts some emphasis there, right? Will reign. All right? So, just a different twist to it. And what that says to me is, okay, when you receive the abundance of grace and this gift that is free, those who receive the abundance of grace, the free gift of righteousness, will reign. That's absolute. I love that. New Living adds, you can see the blue gives us, whatever you see in blue is not in the base passage that we're comparing, or the base verse in this case. New Living, even greater is God's wonderful, it adds to grace, wonderful grace. Whereas ESV says abundance of grace, King James says abundance of grace. They're both in black, so they say the same thing. New Living doesn't use abundance. Where is it? Yes, who receive the abundance of. It doesn't use that. Okay. It adds wonderful, triumph over sin and death, passion, continue reigning as kings in life, enjoying our regal freedom. It adds to righteousness, perfect. Enjoying our regal freedom through I'm in the Passion column. Enjoying our regal freedom through the gift of perfect righteousness. So I'm combining the blue and the black, and that gives me what's in the Passion. The gift of perfect righteousness. So that lets us know our righteous is perfect. That's what the Passion is bringing out. Amplified, let's see what jumps out here. God's overflowing grace. So it crosses out abundance of, it doesn't use that. What's grayed out is what was in the original base text, ESV, but not in the Amplified. Instead of the abundance of, the Amplified says God's overflowing. And it describes grace as unmerited favor. Okay, everybody. We're almost at the top of the hour, so we got this done in less than an hour. Hopefully, this helps. And so, what do you think? Is this something that you think will be beneficial to you? It certainly is to me. All right. So, anyway, that's it. I don't see any questions. So I'm going to bounce, and I'm going to clear my screen, go to the close all button in the bottom left, and we are out of that. And we got in some good stuff, methinks. Okay. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of your Friday. And I forgot to turn one of my lights on, but that don't have nothing to do with you. Hope it's not too dark in my space here. But that's what I got a checklist for. I got a checklist, and I failed to go down that list. So, all right, everybody, happy Friday. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd appreciate it. If you were helped by this, let me know. That encourages me to keep doing this stuff. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye.